Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I am your host, James Yoder, with my post-game grades straight out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And before we get into our grades of Jim Harbaugh, Don Brown, Josh Gattis, Shea Patterson, and the rest of the Michigan football team, I want you guys to give me your one-word reaction to Michigan's, frankly, embarrassing 56-27 loss to the Ohio State Buckeyes. This afternoon, I am here live, at least live for me, from Michigan Football Studios Midwest in Allen Park, Michigan. I'm going to give you my grades for all the coaches, the quarterback, and every single player. But give me your grades, your one-word reaction for Michigan's 56-27 loss to Ohio State. Let's start off here with Jim Harbaugh. The first coach in this rivalry to go 0-4. Now the first coach in this rivalry to go 0-5. And I thought the game plan was strong to come out of the gate. First quarter, very strong. 14 points, I think it was in the first quarter, whatever it was. Out of the gate strong. I'm giving Jim Harbaugh, I give him a D, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Jim Harbaugh gets a D for today's effort. He gave up 62 last year. He gave up 56 this year. 28 points you gave up in the first half. 318 yards you gave up in the first half. 200 yards passing to JT Barrett. And frankly, 118 yards on the ground to Ohio State, including, for the day, 200-plus yards to J.K. Dobbins. It's like Michigan learned nothing from last year. Now, Michigan's offense looked good. I think the biggest plus out of this game, maybe the only plus of this game, is that going into next season, Josh Gattis and this offense look great. Michigan 16 points, 285 yards in the first half. Now, Shea Patterson, 250 yards passing in the first half. You're going to have to find me the record book because that's got to be a record in the history of Michigan football. I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback in this program throw for 250 in the first half a game. I haven't read any articles. I haven't checked any stats. I'm just going on memory. If there's a quarterback that's done 250 in the first half, you guys give me the stats here in the comments below because I don't remember it happening ever. For the game, though, Ohio State 56 points. I was confident at halftime. Last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half, Michigan fumbled the ball in the red zone. Ohio State recovered. Ohio State scores a quick touchdown. Okay, they're up. Then Michigan goes down. They're down 28-13, and they have to settle for a field goal. Going into the half, 28-16. 318 yards for Ohio State, 285 for Michigan. But for the game, 56 points for Ohio State, obviously, 27 for Michigan, 577 yards for Ohio State. More yards than last year. More yards than last year when Ohio State completely obliterated Michigan in the entire game, really, in the entire every aspect of the game, especially on offense. They had more yards on offense, 577. Were they like 569 last year? I don't even care anymore. It was more this year than it was last year. 313 yards passing, 264 yards rushing, and I'll say this: 4 touchdown passes for Justin Fields, 4 touchdown runs for J.K. Dobbins. I will say this, Jim Harbaugh. You get a D in this grade. If you lose the bowl game and you go 0-2 in your last 2 games, Ohio State in the bowl game, 4 straight years. 2016, lost to Ohio State, lost to Florida State. 2017, lost to Ohio State, lost to South Carolina. 2018, lost to Ohio State, lost to Florida. 2019, lost to Ohio State. If you go 0-8 in the bowl game and Ohio State, 4 straight years, you need to lose your job. And I don't think you need to lose your job. You cannot lose this bowl game, though. Do not lose this bowl game. Don't try it. Don't think about it. Don't let players sit out. This bowl game is very important to your future as Michigan's coach, Jim Harbaugh, because I think you're doing a good job as the coach. I think you've got the program much better than you found it. Don't lose the bowl game. And that's all I'm going to say there. Let's move on to it as Jim Harbaugh is 0-5 against Ohio State. I'll ask you guys this question. Will Jim Harbaugh ever beat Ohio State? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer here because they should have done it in 16. They should have done it in 18. They had the game in 17, but 15, 18, 19, blowout city. Jim Harbaugh has been blown out 3 of his 5 years as Michigan's coach against Ohio State. Type Y for yes, he will. Type N for no. Let's go into Josh Gattis. Michigan's offensive coordinator. And I'm just going to do this, guys. I can't deal with this loss. I'm just going to drink a Bud Light. The Allen Park Chat Sports Studios, they've got the kegs flowing back there. They're just telling me, James, come get more beers, because they know I'm hurting after this loss. So let's go to Josh Gattis. I give Josh Gattis a B+. This was a phenomenal performance by the offense for the first 25 minutes of the game, and then it got progressively worse, but I feel like a lot of that was momentum. Offense, okay? This offense was phenomenal in the first half. 16 points in the half, but they could have had 27. You don't fumble that ball, Shea Patterson. You don't drop that ball, Donovan Peoples-Jones, right on the next possession after the fumble. You have 2 touchdowns go to the wayside. Michigan could have been down 28-27, or if they don't have that turnover, they could have been up 27-20, 27-24, whatever it would have been at that point, depending on what Ohio State did on the drive after Michigan's fumble, which could have been a touchdown. Say Michigan gets a field goal in that drive, okay? Then I know Michigan had, so it could have been 23, it could have been 23-20 at halftime. Whatever it was, the offense came to play, and I was sitting there like, holy crap, this is the best offense I've ever seen in the history of my life against Ohio State for the University of Michigan Wolverines. Shea Patterson, 250 yards passing at halftime. Phenomenal. The play calling, phenomenal. Now, the reason Josh Gattis doesn't get an A+ is because you didn't score 40 or 50 points, okay? He's getting a B+ from me. He had some questionable calls on third down. He had a couple wildcat plays in there I didn't necessarily agree with. He had some execution problems with Donovan Peoples-Jones dropping a play. And then really the whole second half was a lot of, I don't know what's going on here with this team. I'm not sure what's going on with this offense. Josh Gattis gets a B+, and I'll say this. He outperformed Don Brown today big time. Josh Gattis, bravo. Bravo for you, Josh Gattis. I'm giving you a big time round of applause because you came to win today. You prepared, you studied, and I don't think your counterpart Don Brown did. So ask you guys this question. What grade do you give Michigan's offense versus Ohio State? An A, B, C, or D, or F? I gave Josh Gattis a B+. Now, he's one of the higher grades I'm going to give for this Michigan offense, so I'm not sure what you guys are going to give for the entire offense. Base it, Gattis at least, on the game plan and not necessarily always the execution. So I'm going to give the entire offense, Josh Gattis at least, a B+, but the position groups a little bit less. Guys, it's a day past Black Friday. We've got the Michigan football holiday sales for you guys. I've got these awesome Michigan Nike shoes, the ones I wore to the game today. Big time discount, huge discount. Go to chatsports.com/blue shoes. That's chatsports.com/blue shoes. Huge sale on Michigan football gear, including these Michigan football Nike shoes. Go get them at chatsports.com/blue shoes. And any Michigan football sale item that you want this Christmas season, you want to buy a gift for yourself, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter, go to chatsports.com/blue, up to 50% off all Michigan football gear for the holiday season. I'm trying to hook you guys up with some awesome deals. Don't miss out. Take advantage. chatsports.com/blue, or the shoes, chatsports.com/blue shoes. Let's go to Don Brown. F. I can't even fit as much F's on here. Producer, back in the studio, Chat Sports, changes from an F- to an F-. 56 points, 577 yards, 333 yards, 13 yards passing, 264 yards rushing, and 36 minutes time of possession for the Ohio State offense against Michigan's defense. Don Brown, you are out. You are out. I don't want to ever see you on the Michigan sidelines again because you can't get it done against the only team that matters. Don Brown, you need to go, brother. I am serious. You're done. I'm sick of the Don Brown defense at this school. Don Brown gets an F minus. Last 2 matchups. 59 points average. 59 points Ohio State has averaged against Michigan the last 2 years. 572 yards, 354 yards passing, and 217 yards rushing. Average the last 2 years. You got to fire Don Brown because people said this a year ago. get the Josh Gattis of offense, or I'm sorry, get the Don Brown of offense, and maybe that was Josh Gattis. Josh Gattis has performed much better in his 1 season against Ohio State than Don Brown is in his 4 seasons against the Buckeyes. Jim Harbaugh needs to go out and find the Josh Gattis of defense, because Don Brown, you are terrible against the Buckeyes. You're the worst defensive coordinator in the history of these two schools, and I don't want to see it ever again. Justin Fields, 14 of 25, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 34-yard touchdown, big plays. J.K. Dobbins, 34-yard rush, 26-yard pass. Chris Olave, 57-yard touchdown pass. Garrett Wilson, 41-yard pass, another 47-yard pass, and J.K. Dobbins, a 41-yard rush. Don Brown needs to go, in my opinion, and I want to see from you guys. Type FB if Michigan needs to fire Don Brown. Give me an FB in the comments if Michigan needs to fire defensive coordinator Don Brown. Look, he's not nothing probably to get fired in the grand scheme of things, but if you cannot beat your rival 4 years in a row as defensive coordinator, if you give up 62 points and 56 points and 580 yards of offense back-to-back years, no matter who the coach is, Urban Meyer, Dwayne Haskins, no matter who the coach is this year, Ryan Day, Justin Fields, nothing's changed. Don Brown has learned nothing against this team, and he can't beat them. He's not going to beat them. If you want to beat Ohio State in the future, you're not going to count on Don Brown. Type FB if you want to fire Don Brown. If I'm here in the Allen Park Studios, Allen Park, Michigan, I'm going to go into my grades for Shea Patterson, wide receivers, running backs, and the entire Michigan offense and defense. Let's get into it. Shea Patterson, I'm giving a B. I thought he played marvelous in the first half. 14 of 19 in the first half, 250, a touchdown, and no interceptions. And guys, I'm looking down here. I don't have the pleasure of a big-time production studio like back at the Chat Sports studio. I've got my computer here. I'm looking at it. I'm going through the stats just for you guys. 14 of 19, 250, 1 touchdown. But is this right? Is this crazy? Am I crazy right now? 4 of 24 for 55 yards. 4 of 24 for 55 yards in the second half. Gosh, Shea was off to the best game I've ever seen him play. And then the second half happened. Ohio State came to play. Ryan Day owns Jim Harbaugh. And I'm giving Shea Patterson a B. How about the running backs? I'm giving the running backs a C-. Dwayne Haskins. Hassan Haskins. 12 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown. And really some good plays. There was a 1 4th down play we didn't execute, but some good plays from Hassan Haskins, especially on the 2-point conversion, the touchdown. 12 carries, 82 yards. Giles Jackson, some good plays from the slot position, the orbit motion position. 3 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. A really big touchdown, 22-yarder early on. And then Zach Charbonnet, Michigan's non-injured running back, 4 carries for 7 yards on the day. No touchdowns for him. And that's it out of the running back position as I take another sip of my trusty Bud Light. Michigan loses 56-27. How about the wide receivers? Big time day for the wide receivers. Huge day, but they did not come up in big situations when it counted. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the biggest drop of the year. He had the biggest drop of the year against Penn State early on in that game. He had the biggest drop against Ohio State. And I'm sorry to anyone Peoples-Jones family who watches this show. I'm sorry to Donovan, but you did not come through in this game when it counted. 3 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown for EPJ. But that drop was so huge at the end of the first half. I can't even tell you. That was the difference in the ball game. C+ for the wide receivers. Ronnie Bell, 6 catches, 78 yards. DPJ, as I said, 3 catches. Sean McCune, 3 catches, 66 yards. And Sean Eubanks. The wide receivers, where was Nico Collins? Where was Tariq Black? Where was Giles Jackson? Where was Mike Sainristil? Non-existent. DPJ and Ronnie Bell, really the only wide receivers that did anything. And then Sean McCune, Nick Eubanks, they kind of came through in the clutch. But nothing phenomenal. We saw McCune with a drop pass later on in the game. Guys, I appreciate you watching today. I really appreciate you all through this season supporting the Michigan Football Report. And I'm going to ask you guys this question. Get us to 6,000 subscribers. We need about 250 left. We're at 5,750. Get us to 6,000, 250 more. And we can keep doing the show all through the offseason. We got recruiting Signing day coming up in, 19, 20 days from now. So subscribe to the channel if you're watching this. Ohio State fans, I know you guys are spying this channel. Subscribe, and this show can go on throughout the 2019 offseason and all the 2019 into the 2020 spring football, fall camp, and beyond. Let's go through the offensive line, special teams, tight ends. I'm giving the offensive line a B. Not much of a running game, but they shut down Chase Young for the entire first half and most of the third quarter. I didn't see Chase Young make a play, at least from the stands, okay? 35-yard lines. I'm sitting there with the big-time donors, as always. You know me. Come on. I'm giving the offensive line a B. Shutting down Chase Young. I'm looking around. I'm talking to my buddies to my left. I'm talking to my friends to the right. And I'm saying, has Chase Young made a play this whole game? And everyone's like, no, where's he at? So I got to give the offensive line a good grade. I know the offense didn't come through with a win, but they get a B for me. Tight ends, I'm giving a C-. Look, Sean McCune, a lot of people in the stands were blaming him for short-arming a touchdown pass. I thought Shea made a bad pass on that one, but I'm not going to blame either party. I thought McCune could have caught it if he would have dived, laid his arms out, whatever it is. But they didn't do enough, the tight ends. I'm giving them a C-, okay? There was a couple drops and a couple plays where they could have done more throughout the game. So if you're going to only score 27 points, if you're going to get blown out, you can't get better. If Michigan would have won the game, I could have given the tight ends a B, B+ maybe, but with a loss by 30 points, the tight ends get a C-. Special teams, get a C-. Nothing going with the return game. There was a really clutch hold on a nice return early on that really kind of changed the momentum of the game. There was a punt return when Ohio State was kicking off punting to Michigan, where Michigan got a penalty to give the ball back to Ohio State. Awful. And then there was a extra point miss very early on. Special teams get a C-. That's probably being generous. Let's go on to our ad read from Fanatics, folks. We have partnered with Fanatics to give you this Michigan shoes. They are big-time discount right now. Huge discount on these Michigan shoes. You see them there on the screen. You see them below me. Chatsports.com/blue shoes. Get those shoes now, because if you wait till Monday, maybe even Sunday night, I don't know. If you wait then, you might have to pay full price for these. All of our Michigan football gear with our partner Fanatics are on sale now, up to 50% off. So go to chatsports.com/blue. Get yourself a discount for holiday season. Get your friends some awesome gifts. Remember to tell them that James Yoder of the Chat Sports Michigan Football Report sent you. Chatsports.com/blue. How about the defensive line? Look, I thought the defense was playing really good for the first half, but they were awful in the second half. They were terrible in the second half. I'm giving the defensive line a C-. J.K. Dobbins, listen to these stats, folks. 31 carries, 217 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The big plays, you see him there next to me. You see the big plays. It's just unbelievable. Dobbins, Olave, Wilson, and he is a true freshman. We're not getting rid of this kid. And then, of course, Dobbins again. It was the Dobbins show early. It was the Wilson show mid and the Dobbins show late. It was just an embarrassing performance by this defense. Don Brown brought nothing to the table, which leads me to the linebackers. D+ for the linebackers. You had an awful penalty by Cam McGrone, where he smoked, I think it was Fields out of bounds. That led to a big-time penalty. But look, folks, J.K. Dobbins, 100 yards in the first half and 3 touchdowns. He also had 31 carries and 217 yards total, 4 touchdowns in the game. Justin Fields absolutely smoked the entire team. The defense did nothing. The linebackers did nothing to stop the defense going across the middle. And so I'm giving the linebackers a D+ grade on the day. The secondary, though, I'm giving an F. Josh Metellus, your worst game as a Wolverine as far as I can remember. He got smoked early and often, especially in the first half. I'm giving the secondary an F. Fields, 14 of 25. 14 of 25 for the day, 302 yards and 4 touchdowns. This wasn't Dwayne Haskins last year throwing 40, 50 times a game. Fields was as efficient as possible, and there was a few times in the game he just rolled out, it goes whoop, it just floats it down there right over the top of Michigan players for a touchdown. The secondary, you get an F. You've got a lot of improving to do. Metellus, you got smoked, and I just don't know what to do with this defense going forward. Don Brown cannot be the defensive coordinator next year. He cannot be the defensive coordinator next year because he's crushes 10, 11 teams a year and gets murdered against Ohio State every single year. Every single year. Okay? I'm coming up to you, camera. Coming at you, Don Brown. You son of a gun. No more. Get rid of Don Brown. Do something better next year. Don Brown cannot be the coach of this team going into the 2020 season. I'm just going to say that. That's all I can say, folks. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Don Brown cannot be the coach of this football team going forward. That's my word. That's all I've got to say about that. As I'm trying to pull my screen back up, I want you guys to grade the defensive performance. Grade the whole, you know what? Don't grade the defensive performance. You see on the screen, grade Michigan's performance against Ohio State. All in, it's a C- grade for me. Maybe a D+. C- we're going to put out there. I don't know from you guys. Grade below in the comments section. We're going to be back tomorrow on Sunday with our Michigan football 5 takeaways from this game. Where does the Michigan football program go from here? I don't know what to tell you guys. But while we're waiting, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you can. Hit this button. And while you guys are waiting for more Michigan football videos on Sunday and Monday, I got some of our videos last week. I don't know. Just click these buttons here. I got some more videos for you. The future of the program is in peril. The future of this show is unknown at this point because Michigan football has lost 8 straight games to Ohio State. Go Blue.